Spider-Man. Brand new day's brand new trailer has finally arrived, and it looks absolutely insane. Spider-Man is completely losing control. Bruce Banner has transformed into Savage Hulk, and Spidey is tearing through enemies like never before. The previous trailer left a lot of questions unanswered, but this one reveals much more about what's really happening. So let's break it all down. The trailer wastes no time and jumps straight into the action. We see Spider-Man swinging in from a distance before crashing directly into a boat belonging to Jen's Pizza. Down below stands Scorpion, holding several DODC agents hostage. Right away, this tells us something important. Spider-Man no longer has full control over his powers. We've seen the MCU Spider-Man perform incredible swings and react perfectly using his spider sense, but now something is changing. The trailer gives us our first glimpse of those changes when Peter crashes onto a vehicle instead of landing smoothly. In the very next shot, Scorpion attacks him with his mechanical tail, and surprisingly, Peter fails to dodge it. That's a huge red flag. His instincts aren't functioning normally anymore. Then we get a close-up inside Spider-Man's mask, and Peter's eyes suddenly turn completely black. This is a major detail. In the previous trailer, fans wondered why director Destin Daniel Cretton kept showing POV shots from inside the mask. Now we finally understand why. The darkness spreading through Peter's eyes appears to be the visual signal that he's losing control of himself. The moment his eyes turn black, Spider-Man becomes far more aggressive, grabbing Scorpion by the throat and slamming him into the ground before hurling him into a moving vehicle. The important thing to remember is that Spider-Man is always holding back. He constantly restrains himself to avoid seriously injuring criminals. But if he's losing control, that's bad news for anyone standing in his way. And judging by what we're seeing here, Scorpion is learning that lesson the hard way. The trailer then shifts focus to Peter's personal life. We see him secretly checking up on his old friends through Ned's social media posts. This confirms something many fans suspected. Peter still hasn't moved on from the events of No Way Home. He's still watching from a distance. He's still connected to the people he lost, and that emotional weakness may become a serious problem. Later in the trailer, we see Peter attaching his web shooters, but something unexpected happens. Organic webs suddenly burst from his hands and knock the web shooters away. This is huge. The trailer officially confirms that Peter has developed organic webbing, similar to what we saw with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. But it's not just a cool new ability, it also comes with a major drawback. Peter can't control it. Webs are erupting from his body involuntarily, showing that his mutation is evolving in unpredictable ways. In many ways, this feels like spider puberty, a stage where Peter's powers are changing faster than he can understand them. While organic webbing eliminates the need to constantly refill web cartridges, it creates a much bigger issue. Peter is losing control over his own body, and that's only the beginning. Realizing that his condition is getting worse, Peter decides to seek help from someone who understands what it's like to live with a monster inside, Bruce Banner. At Empire State University, Peter meets Banner and explains the strange mutations happening within his body. Bruce introduces him to an inhibitor device, technology designed to suppress the Hulk and prevent him from taking over completely. At the same time, it allows Banner to access a controlled version of Hulk, often referred to as Smart Hulk. And that's exactly what Peter wants. He doesn't want to lose the benefits of his evolving powers. He just wants to keep the dangerous side under control. Peter even explains that he wants to separate the good parts of his mutation from the bad ones. He wants the enhanced abilities, but not the uncontrollable rage and instability that come with them. Bruce understands this struggle better than anyone. For years, Hulk felt like a curse, yet that same power has also saved countless lives. That raises an important question. Is Peter's transformation really a problem? Because throughout the trailer, whenever Spider-Man loses control, he actually becomes more effective in combat. Meanwhile, Peter continues struggling with everyday situations. We see him accidentally sticking to pigeons, crashing into water towers, and even ruining a wedding celebration. These moments might seem funny, but they're actually important. Spider-Man stories have often used Peter's ability to control his powers as a symbol of maturity. Peter is now going through a similar phase. His powers are evolving, but he hasn't learned how to control them yet, and that lack of control is creating bigger problems than he realizes. The wedding sequence turns out to be far more important than it initially appears. A mysterious, mind-controlling villain begins manipulating people during the event. We see her jump from one person's consciousness to another, eventually taking control of a helicopter pilot. As chaos unfolds, Bruce Banner starts realizing that Peter's situation isn't as simple as he first thought. Banner asks a fascinating question. Who gets to decide which parts of our nature are good and which parts are bad? It's a question Bruce has struggled with his entire life. After all, Hulk has caused enormous destruction, but he's also saved the world multiple times. The same force that feels like a curse can sometimes become a hero's greatest strength. Meanwhile, the trailer gives us another look at the armored tank sequence teased earlier, and one thing becomes very clear. This movie is packed with action. We've already seen Spider-Man fighting Scorpion, battling armored vehicles, taking on ninja assassins, clashing with DODC agents, and eventually facing Hulk himself. That's an incredible amount of action for a single trailer. Next, we're introduced to William Mathsker, the director of the DOD ODC. Interestingly, he seems to be working alongside Spider-Man rather than hunting him. That alone tells us something major has changed. By the end of the trailer, ODC agents are fighting beside Spider-Man's side of the conflict, suggesting that Peter and the organization have finally reached an understanding. Mathsker explains that the mind-controlling villain represents a threat unlike anything they've faced before, a threat they can't stop, and worse, a threat they can't even see. The villain can move between minds, turning ordinary people into unwilling weapons, while remaining hidden in plain sight. And that's where the real danger begins. As the trailer continues, we finally get a better understanding of the mysterious villain's abilities. Hidden beneath a dark hood, she appears to be operating from Peter Parker's apartment building while remotely controlling people across New York City. Her powers allow her to transfer her consciousness from one person to another, essentially turning innocent civilians into extensions of herself. But things become even stranger. A massive energy wave begins spreading across New York. At first, it looks like the destruction might be connected to Spider-Man's battle with Hulk. However, the trailer reveals something much more unsettling. The wave moves through crowds of people, and everyone it touches seems to lose control of themselves. Citizens suddenly freeze in place, unable to think or act normally. And right in the middle of all this chaos, Frank Castle, the Punisher, is calmly walking through the crowd completely unaffected. That detail is important, because while everyone else is being controlled, Spider-Man appears to be immune as well. According to Mathsker, Peter is the only person capable of resisting the villain's influence. Whether that's because of his spider sense, his evolving mutation, or something else entirely remains unclear. Either way, Peter becomes humanity's best chance of stopping her. The trailer then shows Spider-Man tracking the villain's movements across the city. Using advanced AI systems and his enhanced senses, Peter starts predicting where she'll jump next. Every time she takes control of a new host, Spider-Man is already one step behind her, refusing to let her escape. And that may be her biggest problem. For the first time, she has an opponent she can't manipulate, an opponent she can't hide from. And that's exactly why she decides to attack Peter where he's most vulnerable, his emotions. The villain realizes she can't defeat Spider-Man through direct confrontation, so she changes tactics. Instead of attacking Peter physically, she attacks the people he cares about. During one of their encounters, she taunts him with a chilling question. Have you managed to escape the monster inside you yet? It's a line that hits Peter hard. By this point, the changes happening within his body are becoming impossible to ignore. His blackened eyes, his aggressive behavior, and his uncontrollable powers all suggest that something dangerous is growing beneath the surface. But the villain doesn't stop there. She threatens MJ, and anyone who knows Spider-Man knows exactly how serious that is. Peter can tolerate insults, he can endure pain, but the moment someone targets the people he loves, everything changes. Now, with MJ being directly threatened, the stakes become personal. What's even more concerning is that the villain may have discovered something nobody else knows. If that's true, Peter isn't just fighting to save MJ anymore. He's fighting to protect the secret that defines his entire life. Realizing the danger, Peter decides to move MJ somewhere safe. And surprisingly, the person he trusts with her protection is Frank Castle, the Punisher. It's an unusual choice, but it makes sense. Frank appeared unaffected by the villain's mind control wave, making him one of the few people Peter can rely on. Even if Spider-Man doesn't fully trust Castle's methods, he knows Frank is more than capable of protecting MJ from whatever comes next. Because the war that's about to begin is bigger than either of them expected. Now we arrive at one of the most exciting parts of the trailer, Spider-Man versus Hulk. As I mentioned earlier, the villain's biggest problem is that Spider-Man keeps tracking her down, no matter where she goes. Desperate to stop him, she targets Bruce Banner directly, and that's when everything goes wrong. Somehow, Bruce's inhibitor device is disabled. The very device responsible for keeping Hulk under control suddenly stops working. Peter has been considering creating a similar inhibitor for himself, but what happens next shows him exactly why relying on one can be dangerous. Because the moment the inhibitor fails, Hulk is unleashed. And not just any Hulk. Reports suggest that this is Savage Hulk, the purest and most uncontrollable version of the character we've seen in years. Standing face to face with him, even Spider-Man looks shocked. Peter jokingly points out that he didn't realize Hulk could get this big, but underneath the humor, there's genuine fear. This version of Hulk appears larger, angrier, and far more powerful than the smart Hulk we've become used to. Years of suppression may have caused all that rage to build up beneath the surface, creating an even more dangerous monster once it finally breaks free. And now Spider-Man has to deal with it. The trailer gives us several incredible shots of Peter desperately avoiding Hulk's attacks. One moment in particular, where Spider-Man narrowly escapes a devastating Hulk clap, already feels destined to become a meme. But beneath the humor lies a serious challenge. Peter isn't just fighting a villain anymore, he's fighting the exact future he's trying to avoid. Because every time Hulk loses control, Peter is forced to look at what he himself could eventually become. And that realization might be more terrifying than Hulk himself. While the city struggles with the growing crisis, Peter finds himself facing another problem much closer to home. Ned leads. The trailer strongly suggests that Ned has started investigating Spider-Man's true identity. Earlier promotional material even showed Ned presenting his own Spider Tracker project, a system designed to analyze clues connected to the masked hero. And surprisingly, he's getting close. At Ned's party, Peter notices a board filled with observations about Spider-Man. Ned has carefully documented everything he knows. Spider-Man is male, appears to be between 18 and 25 years old, first appeared publicly in 2016, and seems to come from Queens, New York. The details become even more specific. Ned has even estimated Spider-Man's height with impressive accuracy. It's honestly a little scary how close he is to solving the mystery. At the same party, Peter also comes face to face with MJ and her new boyfriend. The interaction feels awkward, emotional, and painful to watch. For Peter, it's another reminder of everything he lost after the events of No Way Home. What's interesting is that Ned seems confused by Peter and MJ's reaction to each other. He asks whether they've met before, completely unaware that they once shared an entire history together. To him, Peter is just another guest. To Peter, it's a heartbreaking reminder of a life that no longer exists. And that's when the trailer takes an emotional turn. We hear the voice of Aunt May. Her words echo through Peter's mind. The people who love you because you're you. Never forget that, no matter how powerful you become. It's a beautiful message and one that perfectly captures the heart of Spider-Man. Soon afterward, Spider-Man rushes in to save MJ, and something fascinating happens. She trusts him immediately. That small moment suggests that while Peter Parker has been erased from her memory, Spider-Man himself has not. Deep down, some level of trust still remains. The trailer then gives us one of its most mysterious shots. Peter appears to be falling through the city while wearing only a hoodie, almost as if he's losing awareness of his surroundings. This could be another sign that his mutation is affecting his mind. He may be blacking out, losing time, or experiencing moments where he no longer fully controls his actions. And then there's the possibility that many fans are already talking about. Venom, the black eyes, the aggressive behavior, and the growing instability all feel strangely familiar. While nothing is confirmed, the trailer may be teasing the arrival of the symbiote in a way nobody expected. As the story approaches its climax, MJ asks Frank Castle a simple but powerful question. You're really going to let him go alone? That line practically confirms a final team-up. Spider-Man, Punisher, MJ, and possibly several other allies may ultimately join forces against the growing threat consuming New York. The trailer concludes with Spider-Man facing off against a group of highly trained ninja warriors armed with swords and advanced electrical weapons. They even manage to unmask him during the fight. Yet despite everything, Peter keeps pushing forward. Because being Spider-Man isn't about having perfect control. It's about getting back up when everything is falling apart. The trailer ends with a surprisingly funny but meaningful moment. After everything we've seen, Spider-Man losing control, Hulk being unleashed, New York falling into chaos, and a powerful mind-controlling villain threatening everyone he cares about, the final scene reminds us of something important. Spider-Man is still Spider-Man. In the middle of all the madness, Peter struggles with something as simple as stretching before a fight. It's a classic Spider-Man moment, humor mixed with danger. No matter how dark things get, Peter Parker never completely loses that relatable side of himself. And honestly, that's what makes this trailer so exciting. On the surface, it looks like a story about Spider-Man gaining new powers and facing bigger threats. But underneath all the action, this is really a story about identity, control, and the fear of becoming something you don't recognize. Peter is changing. His powers are evolving. His emotions are being pushed to their limits.